Now, say my name.
The Rolling Bad Podcast.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast, episode number 79. Finally, the end of the 70s. Coming to you from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. We're recording on Sunday, November 24th. I'm your host. I just got in from Arizona, Elric. And with me is
Bill Costello, who did not go to Arizona, and
Chad Thompson, who has no desire to go to Arizona.
Alrighty then.
Excellent. We're here to do a show, boys.
Yes, we are.
And what is the show going to be about?
Well, let me tell you.
Oh, lay it on me, Bill.
I'll just give you the title of the show. It's called
God.
Premature Evaluation.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just kick it off with, I want to make a quick announcement about the Great South WOG. It's a UK ITC Championship 2020. It is happening at the Bournemouth International Center. It's at the bigger con that it's attached to is Beachhead 2020. And the gentleman that's running the AOS portion of it actually got a hold of us quite a while ago, but I'm too inept at the Facebook messages.
Okay, Boomer.
Well, you know, he messaged us with plenty of time, and I didn't see it. I didn't even notice it was there. I hate the way you manage pages in Facebook. I just truly hate it. It's archaic. But I didn't see it, and unfortunately, the early bird tickets that are only £40 were only available to the 30th of November, and the show is going to drop, right around the 30th of November. So early bird stuff is over, but this one is out there in Bournemouth at the Bournemouth International Center. For those of you that don't know exactly, that's southwest of London. It's kind of between Plymouth and London. It is in the UK, for those of you that can't even localize that portion of it.
Ouch.
I love how you're giving directions in England
Yeah.
on an American podcast.
Yeah.
As if the people attending wouldn't know.
They will know, because they're probably smarter than us anyway.
But the show's going to drop after your ability to go to the show, so anybody who's listening...
No,
give
this show
directions
is in
can-
February 2020. This show is February 7th and 8th.
Just
You
the early
can't
bird
buy the
tickets.
early bird tickets
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
So, yeah, the show is 2020, and it's a UK ITC Championships. So it's Saturday, the 8th of February, and Sunday, the 9th of February. If you buy tickets, it includes entry into the trade show. And if you go to their Facebook page, which I will put the link up, from the pictures that they show, it's a pretty decent-sized. They have a vendor hall and trade show and all that good stuff. So it's a pretty big deal.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I will throw the Facebook link up on the show notes so that you can go. And again, I apologize to them for not getting this out before the early bird tickets went south. But that is my bad. That is my ineptitude.
That's what you get for putting faith in Bill.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't worry, we're here to pick up the slack.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Someone has to.
No, we're good. We're good.
Someone has to. So another thing I wanted to do in the intro is, hey, Games Workshop, you're getting a sternly worded email from me. I was on iBooks the other day, and I noticed that the November White Dwarf is available in iBooks. So they're doing the digital White Dwarfs again. But I never heard any announcement of it. Did you guys?
No, I had no idea that it was even a thing, basically, that was going to be coming back. So,
Yeah. It's
super surprising.
I know. I haven't seen a thing for subscribing to it, or maybe they're not going to do a subscription. Maybe that was the problem before, but yeah, I'm glad to see it back digitally. That's for damn sure. I also want to throw a sort of shout out, if you will, to miniwargaming.com. If you guys don't watch their videos, you probably should, because they have everything from battle reports to product reviews to Mini Wargaming Dave being just hilarious. They do narrative campaigns. They do role-playing narrative campaigns. You name it, they do it. They also have Chris Bilal out there, who's a fantastic painter, and he teaches. He has these little 5-minute spots to teach you a certain thing, and then he has longer shows to delve more in depth. They have been a force to be reckoned with for some time up there in Canada, and they're a retailer. They just moved into a new, they call it the bunker, but basically they have rooms at their bunker that you can stay at, rent them, play games on their live streams or their videos, and stay in these themed rooms. I mean, some of the rooms are just gorgeous. When they did the tour of the facility, it was really cool. So these guys aren't fly by night. They're pretty intense. They put all their videos behind Vimeo, which is a streaming service. You know, that's how they do their Vault memberships. It's all goes through Vimeo. And, you know, if you're a Vault member, you can download the videos, and they make it all. It's very smooth, seamless. It's very cool, very well-run operation. But the problem is Vimeo just raised the price of their hosting by 1,700%.
God.
So, yeah, you can imagine that monthly fee, you know, going up that much. So they're having a big push right now to get subscribers and to get Vault members. So they're giving away a free week so you can take a look at what's in the Vault. And there's a lot of great stuff in there. So just go check it out. It's miniwargaming.com. The video where he talks about what's going on is right up front on the page there. So, you know, check it out if it's something that you're interested in. There's a lot of great stuff on there. Hell, just Chris Bilau's video tutorials are worth the price of the Vault membership by itself. And then last but not least in the intro, poor Rob Symes, Rufio.
Yeah, this one sucks.
Yeah, this is really bad. If you follow Rob Six Dice Skills on Twitter, you know him as the Honest Wargamer. He took a trip. I don't want to say what country he went to because I'm not exactly sure. Sweden?
Yeah, Sweden.
And when he opened up his equipment case, it was pretty much trashed.
I don't even think he opened it up. I think it came
busted, yeah. So a lot of his video, now he does the streaming. He was the guy that streamed from CanCon last year, did the fantastic job. He does a phenomenal job of live streaming games, and he's got a great format for doing it, plus the stuff they do there at their own home studio. It's amazing. And to have your stuff wiped out like that's hard because that is his livelihood.
Yeah.
So that's how he makes his living. So feel for you, Rob. I wish that didn't happen for sure. But I noticed they were streaming, so they got some of the equipment to work. They got some of what was left to work, and they got their show on the road.
Do we know what happened? Was it did somebody try to steal something? Was something dropped? Or
I don't want to throw details out there because I don't know, and I don't want to start something silly.
I'm sure he'll let everybody know after the fact once he's been, because he's already in contact with Norwegian Air.
Yeah, Norwegian Air is the airlines. Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to besmirch anything. It might have been, we don't know what it was, and until he says what it was, then we'll just go with that was a raw deal.
Yeah.
So we feel for you, dude. And if there's anything we can do, let me know. We'll fly over there and podcast for you. No, we won't.
That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. So as far as the show goes, and the reason why we call it Premature Evaluation is because we're going to do the year-end wrap-up in November. And that leaves a whole month of new stuff to come out.
Yep.
But you'll understand more why later. But right now, the doorbell just rang, and that means my dogs are going crazy, and our sandwiches are ready.
Yay.
So let's go eat.
Sandwiches.
Yay. So we've taken our small break, and we're fed, and we're happy, and Elric has gas, and, well, actually, that's not news.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty much standard.
I breathe air.
It's just in.
Yeah.
So let's jump off into the New Dawn stuff. It's kind of a weird interphase week because big stuff drops on Black Friday, and some great new pre-orders go up Saturday. But this week is sort of an in-between week, so there's some made-to-order stuff. What went up for sale yesterday was all of the Agents of the Imperium. So you had the Inquisitors with the different weapon loadouts.
It's some of them.
And
They're still
not all of them.
Quite a few of them. The Assassins. They had the old Assassins.
Old Assassins, which I like the new sculpt so much better that I looked at those and I was just like, I was tempted to get them for completion's sake, but then I was like, no, I have enough Assassins, so.
Now, I loved the old Inquisitors.
Yeah, I mean, they look...
Yep.
Because that was right whenever they started to break away from the more traditional Space Marine. Ooh, what's this guy? And he just, no helmet or whatever. You're just like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, that was back when it was just Space Marines and Imperial Guard.
Yeah,
that was like
that was
the
it.
representation of the Imperial. Yeah. They finally started sprinkling in some other goodies.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, is those the pre-orders, or I'm sorry, those made-to-orders.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because they're in that weird spot where the big splash release is coming right around the bend. And so, yeah, going up for pre-orders next week after the Sisters and Faith and Fury drops, the new sculpt for Mephiston.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Beautiful.
God. So
man.
Mephiston has crossed the Rubicon Primaris, and he looks...
He's a big angry boy.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
You see his stat line?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. He smash.
He's Mephiston again.
Yep.
He's Mr. Hi, I eat your lunch. Thank you.
I'm going to do bad things to you.
Yeah.
Here, hold my beer.
Yep.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Also, they have announced that the Psychic Awakening book, the next book, is called Blood of Baal. I said this in our little chat, that the little teaser video made me feel all funny inside.
Oh, yeah.
So you can guarantee I'm getting that bad boy.
And then doing what with it, Bill?
I will probably build a Tyranid force from that book. Because
Yeah,
it's going to cover
that's-
Tyranids and Blood Angels.
That's the direction you're going to go? God. Why don't you just take all of your Marines and give them your 3 colors for tabletop standard? Black for Raven Guard, green for Salamanders, and red for Blood
I'll
Angels.
have them striped.
Yep. Just be whatever you need them to be. Good Lord. The Waffle Marines. That's what it is.
That's what they're going to be called. The Waffle Marines.
Rainbow Warriors. It's fine.
It'll be
Yeah, something.
Battle Force Waffle. Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be huge. So, Psychic Awakening, Mephiston. For Adeptus Titanicus, they're releasing the Knight Household Battle Force box, which is a whole bunch of knights in a box. Go figure. So, it's the little knights. It's
the wee little knights.
Yeah, the wee little knights. So, but it's nice to get them in a big, because it looks like it has a few of all of the different types. So if you missed out, or if you don't want to buy a whole bunch of like the Cerestus and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
Can't
you'll be
imagine
able
what
to.
that price tag is going to be. Because they're really cool.
Yeah.
But they do get kind of pricey as you
Yes.
get towards the bigger ones.
Yes. And it's because that box looks like it has quite a few in there. So I don't know what they're going to price it out as, but it'll be fun to watch. That's for sure.
Still got to get a game of that in.
Oh, I know. All the new Battle Force boxes, so the Christmas boxes will be hitting the streets that day. Chapter approved 2019, and it's going to be split just like the General's Handbook was. There's the price list, the cost, the point cost, and then the main meat of the book. Okay. Also, they're going to do a Kill Team annual, so that I'm really looking forward to seeing. All the Kill Team stuff rolled into one little book. Very nice.
Yeah, this is a interesting direction they're going with all of it now. More of a living rule book approach to all their games.
I think I'll wait for that Kill Team manual before I decide if I'm going to play it or not.
Mm-hmm. That's a blast.
So, I have enough Nurgle stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm perfectly fine.
Well, and the beauty of Kill Team is you can buy one box and pretty much build a Kill Team.
Yeah.
And, if you want to do the elites, well, then you need an elite box. If you want to do commander, you need a commander, some kind of hero. But you don't have to just plunk down a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play anything. Like if you want to scratch your Harlequin itch, it's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I have that
Painting
Death
up
Guard
2000,
stuff
yeah.
just sitting around. So
Yep, and they're good in Kill Team. They're not awesome, but they're good.
Right on.
And, we brought up this point before, but I'd like to talk about it a little bit. Does anybody here think that we might have seen the last edition of 40K and AOS?
how so?
With all the living rules and all that stuff, I mean, do you really see a need to go to 9th edition other than, are they going to change the game fundamentally again, either AOS or 40K, with all these living rules, with all these updates and chapter approved and general's handbooks and annuals? They're basically saying here's the deal. This is all updated now. And I mean, I'm just wondering if we won't, we're kind of used to seeing a new edition every few years. Maybe that goes away. Maybe we see a new edition in 5, 6, 7 years to bring everything into one book and, maybe streamline a couple of things here and there. But do you think there's...
I think what they could do instead of doing new editions is new storylines. Soul Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that. So, okay, you know what? We're going to release another starter box. But this time we'll have it be A versus B. Like they used to do, Island of Blood, things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way they'll go, just to keep the lore and the story going and not necessarily, okay, this is AOS, 3.0, this, so on and so forth. Maybe they'll just do it that way.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is, we saw the Soul Wars come out. We're seeing Psychic Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what really tips it for me is these Psychic Awakening books are basically codexes or supplements.
I think it'd be like, with Diablo or with World of Warcraft. It's an expansion.
Yeah.
Just, okay, here's a new chapter. The base game is there. Here's a new chapter. Here's a new storyline. So I think that would be awesome for a narrative feel to just keep the storyline going.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do virtually anything at this point.
Yeah, they can go anywhere. And, I just wonder if they're happy enough with the rules, the basic rules. And, one of the things you want to do as a game designer is minimize your rules so that you don't have to change that core system. And then make all the changes in the codexes.
Mm-hmm.
Make it on the War Scroll cards, if you will. That's where you can do a lot of your fine-tuning of the system and make certain things play a different way that maybe isn't straight out of the core, but doesn't warrant changing the entire base game. So,
Yeah, here's an errata. Here's an FAQ.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly.
Done. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just wonder if we haven't seen the last of the editions.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No.
Keep going. Back and forth.
No, we're good. We're waiting for you, buddy.
So, I think...
Anyway.
Well played, sir. So the first General's Handbook came out before AOS 2.0. So we saw the living rulebook mentality before, and then an edition change after that.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility that they'll drop new editions. But I do like the idea that you keep the core game pretty much set, and then you do things like Forbidden Power and some of the other expansion stuff that's come out, and then that way the player base can say, like, we don't feel like using this expansion
Right.
in our game, so we'll just remove that, and the game still stays the same based off the core rules. So
Yeah.
it makes it a little more compartmentalized. Maybe that's their new approach. I don't know.
That'd be a genius way to do it.
It certainly seems like what they're doing for AOS, not so much for 40K, because the stuff that's coming out for 40K, like the Psychic Awakening, there's like legitimate army books inside the storyline, so you kind of have to allow those in order for those armies to play. And I don't think there's been like a expansion that added a ton of new rules and stuff to 40K. Has there been?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, even like Urban Conquest was just a different way to play. Technically Apocalypse is an expansion.
Okay, well then
and it's a whole new way to play, but it's a different base game.
Right. Yeah, the rules for Apocalypse are totally different.
And they're completely different, so you don't really think of it as expanding the system as much as it's its own thing. But really, what's come out for 40K?
Well, I guess
Conquest.
Urban Conquest would
and
be
then
an example.
All the Psychic Awakening stuff where they're making the changes they want to make in these supplements.
Yeah.
And honestly, from a marketing point of view, it's a lot easier to get the public to buy in to these small, hey, buy this $30, $40 book, and you now have the latest for this faction and all the rules that go with them, rather than saying, okay, take everything that you've bought for the last 3 years, throw it away because we got 40K 9.0 or AOS 3.0. It's a lot more palatable to give it to us this way in dribs and drabs And it also helps by having that constant income rather than the splash income you get from a version change. And, there's always anger about a version change. Well, I liked 7th. It was great.
Yeah.
Well, you're an idiot. Go away.
Wow, Bill. Shots fired.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
raise your hand if you really enjoyed 7th edition 40K.
I just need my old vehicle manual with template. That'll be good.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the VDR?
Oh.
Yeah, that's so good.
So, yeah, I know. I just thought we'd go off on that little tangent real quick.
Cool.
Because, I don't know. I begin to think sometimes that I don't think we'll see another new version as opposed, or, maybe 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
They'll
not every
change everything, but
3
it won't be
years.
this, hey, it was 1.0, 2.0, now 3.0. No, I don't think we'll see that.
No,
I
just
think,
leave it as expansions.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I think, we'll see it as a gradual improvement over time.
If I've learned anything in the last 2 years from Games Workshop, it's not to rule out literally anything with them.
No.
They are willing to take monster chances.
Yes.
So.
Yes, they are, and that's awesome. So do we want to talk about the elephant in the room as far as monster chances? Let's talk square bases.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bill. Really?
I
All the cool kids are talking about it. We should, too.
Yeah, so do you really want to do this? I thought you were hinting at the Sisters of Battle thing, but...
No.
Okay, all right. So, if you go to the community page, there is an announcement for Warhammer The Old World, and they basically said something about square bases, and you won't see anything for it for like at least another 3 years. And they'll keep kind of putting out little updates here and there, which we probably won't get anything again for a good 6 months if it's that far out. And, of course, the Internet being the calm, rational place for intelligent discussion that it is.
With carefully considered commentary?
Absolutely, and no name-calling whatsoever.
None.
Sat back and took this news in stride, and everybody just kind of helped each other through it. Yeah, no, it was pandemonium.
I'd like to think that I didn't add to it by voicing my opinion.
Of course not.
I didn't. I
You're not
really
a ba-
didn't.
You're not a bad guy at all, Bill.
No. And
Salt of the earth.
because I realized that what I really wanted to say first, and then after thinking about what I would have said, how terribly self-centered it was to say.
Okay, well, then say it here, where it has an even bigger platform.
Okay.
You're surrounded by friends.
Yeah, this is a safe space, buddy.
Actually, what I thought was, what a silly idea this was.
Okay.
Because you're basically going to divide an already divided community that has just gone through its division. I mean, when AOS came out, we lost a lot of the community. And I've maintained over the years, the part of the community we lost was the part we didn't really want to have. Because, well, it's the square. The guys who are doing Kings of War and Ninth Age right now are really the guys you don't want. All they do is get angry about anything that GW does.
This is true.
I know. It's just oh yeah.
What?
You're not wrong. It's just you're always up my butt about being like so harsh about stuff, and you're basically like F those clowns. Good riddance.
Yeah, kind of. I really am, because it's good.
So good. I'm just drinking it in.
I mean, we have enough neckbeards left that we get that enough. We don't need to bring those guys back into the
Sure.
fold just to sit there and say, well, we told you that this is the way to
gonna
go
be a
with the
massive
ranks
I
and
told
the
you so.
flanks. You know, and I'm sorry, but rank and flank games are like a holdover from the 60s, kind of like me.
Yeah.
If you really want to do that, if you really want to go back to that, hey, go play Game of Thrones and have a grand old time and watch the finale episode a few more times to really get yourself going. You know?
Get the old blood flow.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, rank and flank
Yeah.
games are the lamest. They're great for Napoleonics because that's what it was. We're talking about fantasy battles here.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, I'm just going to step up and be the next guy shot. That's fun. No, I say leave those guys in the dirt.
I'm just loving this so much. It's so good.
I'm so glad I came.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Bill's bringing the heat right now.
I love it.
Salt heat.
But then I realized that was a very self-centered opinion. And
Which now is not on the internet anywhere to come back.
there's no
in
real
6 months.
There's
Exactly.
no real
Yeah.
record of this.
Yeah, no.
And I thought to myself, that actually you're being incredibly exclusionary. You're being super Republican. Why don't you just lighten up and see what it is they come up with? Because, number one, they haven't really messed up a whole lot of things in the past. Maybe the exception, the rollout of AOS, but I think that was also planned. But let it happen. See what happens. Maybe the people that come back are going to be the percentage of those guys that see that there's a place that we can all have fun. And, that's what I ended up thinking, and I was quite glad that I didn't put that initial reaction I had out.
Look at you. So they also said that it's going to be a specialist game handled by Forge World. So this is not going to be a direct competitor with Age of Sigmar.
Right. It's heresy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the Horus Heresy
Of AOS.
of AOS.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even... I would think, if anything, it would be a callback to like Warmaster.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it'll be a 28 mil heroic. Because there's no way that Forge World could keep up with something
No,
like that.
not at that production
They
level.
literally do Horus Heresy and nothing else at this point.
Yeah.
So to add another full-on massive battle rank and flank 28 mils, no. I don't see that happening unless Forge World like triples their staff in the next few years, which could happen. I mean, they did say it's several years away, so that's a possibility. But we're also going into an age of technology where the old Forge World resin casting way of things is just starting to show its age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would say. And I just cannot, again, don't put anything past Games Workshop, but I just don't see them doing a rank and flank direct competitor to the game they have now. I would see it as a different scale rank and flank style. Yeah, Warmaster. It'll be 10 mil or 15 mil, something like that. You can recreate massive battles that were told in the old world, kind of like they wanted to do with Middle-earth stuff. That was the jump from the old skirmish style version of the game to the much larger, so that you could recreate Battle of the Pelennor Fields and things like that. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't do that again with this. They showed that with like Adeptus Titanicus, that different scale works.
Yeah.
People ate that up.
Yep.
I just don't see them
I don't see them
going
competing
backwards.
with
There's no
themselves.
point in doing a step backwards whatsoever.
Okay. Can I ask you to put your tinfoil hat on? for a
Okay.
minute?
Oh, this is right up my alley in that case.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, here's the deal.
Okay.
What if they take a page from Mantic's book and say, here's rules for all these things that we don't make, and let the chips fall where they may? And they just happen to cover all the stuff that Mantic is making. Or better yet, what if they just flat out buy Mantic?
Oh, why?
Why not? First of all, I mean, their sculpts are...
Stop it. Stop it right now, Bill. Not having any of that right
It's
now.
not a 500-pound elephant in a room. It's an 800-pound troll.
Yeah.
I did just buy a box of ogres.
Oh, for the love of God.
I can't believe you didn't let me roll with that.
No. I'm not going to let you say anything positive about Mantic's models. Get out of here. Anyways,
I'm sorry. I had to go there.
It was good.
It was fun.
stop it.
Yeah, I have to believe that this old world game is going to be something different that we haven't really seen before. It's not going to be a way to use your old Legends models because they already have the Legends rules.
I got it.
Okay.
You ready for this? You ready for this hot take? Okay, this one's going down in the books so that when it happens, and I'm the only person that called this, okay?
Oh, but when I do it, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Enter Troll 2, stage left.
No, this isn't a troll.
Okay.
This is a long shot.
Okay.
Okay, this is an Aaron Rodgers to the end zone. I might just win the game, boys. Son of a... They're going to take key characters from the old world. Your Carl Franzes, your old Archeons, Arcan,
Larian, all the good ones.
all these guys. Okay. They're going to do a 56 mil Inquisitor style remake of the old world where you play as a single character in a pseudo RPG skirmish game with hyper detailed resin models set in the old world. Don't do it. Don't push no buttons. Get out of here.
The only button you should be pushing is either mute or crickets.
I'm calling it now.
56 mil.
Yeah, that's what the old Inquisitor stuff was.
Yeah.
And
those
that game
went
did
over
not
well.
succeed because there was like 6 pounds of metal that you had to put together. They're capable of doing so much more now, right? Better rules, better models. Good work.
I think that, if we're going to go down the rabbit hole with the tinfoil hat, that basically the mention of square bases was clickbait, just to see if those old guys are still paying attention, just to drag them back there. Wait a minute, did they say something about square bases? Are you telling me I can play 8th edition again? And that's what it is. And they're going to keep them on a fishhook for the next couple of years till they go, yeah, you can use your square bases again. And they click into these round ones. Merry Christmas. And that's basically going to be it.
Okay. Do you... Oh, God.
Here we go.
Do you think that the community team is cruel enough to put out Stormcast on square bases?
No. What I'm saying is, here's your old Tomb Kings, here's your old Bretonians, here's that 900-piece goblin army that you had
that you put on rounds.
Refuse to take off of squares. We're now going to make compatible bases that they can click into, and you can play either one. And you know what? Here's some old world rules. Here's the Horus Heresy version. So now you can convert back and forth and not have to buy a whole new army. I can just click my guys out. I can do my regiment of 60 archers in a square, or I can take half those guys, put them away, click them on my round bases, play AOS, bring back the old guard.
Now I hate to say this because it galls me personally, but that sounds more logical than anything I came up with. I mean, that could work. A very updated 8th edition.
No.
Along with some base adapters to make them rank and flank. Because, I mean, when you look at the old models, they had to be a certain way in order to fit into movement trays and what have you. Nowadays, you're not going to get Daughters of Cain to fit like that. But if you had a base adapter that made them
No, it's
larger,
still not going to work. Look at those new Warriors of Chaos coming out.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
There's no way you're going to rank and flank that nonsense.
Yeah.
It is going to be a different scale fantasy base game. There's no way they're going to compete directly with they already do it with Middle Earth.
I would go more towards the smaller scale,
Yeah.
bigger battles, than any 56 millimeter skirmish.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that was just a wild card. But yeah, I definitely see like a War Master remake,
Yeah,
basically.
that would be. You wouldn't make me mad.
No.
Not even a little.
And if you could get Bretonians like that,
Yeah.
oh, sweet babies. Yeah.
What size is like Flames of War?
That's what, 15?
10 mil, isn't it?
10 mil?
I think it's 10. I don't know. All that stuff looks goofy to me. Like, none of it scales right.
My only concern with going with the lower scale, like, if you did a War Master type of thing, is terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
now you're fighting with mountains, not hilltops.
But they redid all the terrain to that scale for Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah. And it worked.
True.
So
Yeah, and it does work. It's super easy.
Plus, you could use Napoleonic stuff, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You could probably...
There's enough 10, 12, 15 mil stuff out there that, good Lord.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. There's no way they're going to come back and just be like, here's basically a reprint of Warhammer 8th Edition, and we're sorry. Because that's what all these other guys are saying.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's what that.
they're finally admitting Age of Sigmar was a flop, despite the fact that their profits have doubled each year for the last 3 years. Because I don't know how economy works, bro. But square bases for life, son. You know, whatever. Get out of here, you clowns.
SBFL.
Yeah. God.
I need to make that shirt.
Tattooed on my face.
Okay,
Nice.
so
Yeah, that was fun.
that was the elephant in the room. I didn't think it was gonna. That's awesome. I do love it. When that thing first came out, the first thought that went through my head was, why in the world are they doing this on any other day than April 1st?
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure it out. That was so funny. But anyway, as far as did we cover the releases of Ripper Schnellfangs and
No.
the Beastgrave gift pack? So that also came out this week. So if you're into the Beastgrave thing, which again I highly recommend because it's a very, very fun game, Warhammer Underworlds, the Beastgrave edition is very cool, and the Ripper Schnellfangs came out. They are so cool. I can't wait to build them. They are so nice.
That's the Goblins on Wolves, right?
Goblins
Yeah,
on Wolves,
yeah.
yeah.
God, those look good.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the Sisters of Battle pre-order
I don't know.
and the raging dumpster fire that it was?
Oh, yeah. There's a personal story here. I forgot about
There
that.
Well,
is
yeah, so it
slightly-
affects me a little bit, but that's okay because I still ultimately, hopefully, got mine. But there's a lot of people who did not.
Yeah.
Really?
And then immediately on eBay, there were copies of it being put up for like 6 times the retail amount. So
It's always like that, though.
yeah, but I think people are getting really tired of it.
Oh, yeah.
With Games Workshop, and it's kind of reaching a breaking point. So much so that Games Workshop actually came out and addressed it and said that hey, we're sorry, this didn't quite go the way we had hoped, and so next time we really aim to do better. And I have faith they will, because if you remember with the Solar War, the first book.
The first book was
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they sold out like instantly because you could buy as many, you could buy up to like 10, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy 10 copies.
Yeah. And so a lot of people didn't get what they wanted on that one. They changed this. It said 1 per order. And I got 2 because I went through an order, purchased it, completed, and then went back and did it again.
Yeah.
But then I got an email saying they canceled one of my orders, which personally I'm upset about because I wanted 2 boxes. But I guess ultimately, if that means that somebody else gets one that wants it, that's cool. I just hope it didn't go to some D-bag scalper on eBay who's going to sell it for 4 times the amount.
You know, it's one of those deals where, like I said, I wasn't going to get one, and then I decided to take the plunge just because they're just too beautiful not to do.
Yeah.
And to have the Black Templars with them is just too enticing. The idea that it said right there on the page, 1 per order, when all of their spoken word and all of their stuff coming up to that had said 1 per account, or 1 to a customer. It was just weird to see that, and I had flashbacks of Solar War and not getting it.
Yeah.
And I was upset. I was angry that it went down like that, because if I had known how it was going to go down, I would have just gone to the store and given Anders all my money instead of waiting here and sitting there clicking until I could refresh that screen to get the order up. And, if I had known how it was going to work, because if you order right there at the store, he gets 100% of the credit. Yep. Whereas if you order it from your house and have it delivered to the store, he only gets 10%. So I basically feel like I screwed him out of.
Yeah, it really sucks.
20 some odd, or actually $180 or something.
I didn't know it worked that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll be ordering from the store from now on, not from online. Yeah.
Yeah.
You order online at the store.
Yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
at home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I felt bad about that too because I went in and told him like, I put in my order. He's like, really? You didn't want to do it here? And I was like, oh, I mean, I couldn't. I was surrounded by my kids, but still, that does suck.
Yeah. It's annoying that they handled it the way they did, and again had to come out and make a statement about how mishandled it was.
Yeah.
But this also has to go down as one of the biggest, most anticipated releases ever.
Yeah, if we're going to get a silver lining out of this, it's that the demand for Sisters of Battle is very real.
Well, and it certainly bore out Kevin's feeling that, if this doesn't go over, if this thing doesn't sell well, we will never do this again. I think they have it down now that if we say we want something and you make it, we will buy it.
Yep.
Which is good.
Except for squats. You keep your mouth shut about that nonsense.
I want squats.
Get
Squats.
out of here.
No
Get
squats.
out of here. Oh, my God.
You
Double
know,
squats.
Actually, okay, so
Squats with flamers.
I think I talked about
squats
this at
with
the
Miltas.
GW store the other day because the whole thing of squats came up. Like, well, if they're bringing back this other stuff and it's so successful, why not bring back squats? And, and my knee-jerk reaction was like, get out of here with that stuff, right? But I started thinking about it in kind of the same mentality that I always preach about Lizardmen, Seraphon,
Yeah.
right? With the way they're capable of
That's
designing models and everything now, I bet you they could make an amazing squat army.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I think they're called overlords or something.
well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Look
that's
at them.
Pretty much perfect.
Just
Yeah.
crank the technology up a little more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of giving them flying ships, you give them, well, you could even kind of carry that over.
Yeah.
Gravitack sort of things.
Yeah. Land speeder, a version of a land speeder.
yeah. Yeah, they already have guns. They already fly with their little backpacks, their
Yeah.
little balloon packs,
Instead of cutlasses, you give them chainsaws and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like.
chain axes.
Oh, I see a conversion project coming.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
I got a squad army on the way.
Just saying.
And we know they exist in the universe. They've already released it with, I forget what it
there's,
was.
Necromunda.
Was it
Necromunda
Necromunda?
has a
Yeah.
squad. Yeah.
So we know they're there.
Well, and plus with the whole malediction.
Cicatrix Malediction.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
They could literally bring me anything back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's whole planets being vomited back in from the war,
Yep.
but it's just stuff that hasn't been contacted for. It's kind of like when the Emperor started his whole crusade up
Yeah.
again.
You
Like
can do all of those storylines all over again.
So,
Yep.
wow. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
on board with.
I'm telling you, if squads
be-
come out, I would have to buckle down. Be like, okay, I got to see how this works.
Yeah,
This could be really fun.
that'd be cool. And they did say a long time ago that they're going to not only obviously keep refreshing the existing stuff,
Yep.
but they're going to be
Adding
adding
new
armies
stuff.
that exist within the lore. So that's when we got the Adeptus, the Adeptus Custodes
Yep.
as a whole army, which had never been there before. But they also said that they're going to add completely new races that had never been.
And they even flashed up pictures of like Harad and some other things.
Yeah,
So
just to kind of get the juices flowing.
Yeah.
of
Nothing's off
possibilities.
limits. I don't.
That's the beauty of being able to move the flipping story
Yeah.
forward is you can add cool stuff. You don't have
Yes.
to be like, oh, that version of this tank had been there all the time. You just never heard
You
about
don't
it.
have to do that.
Because we're not allowed to move the story. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we did, and we are.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
If that means Call has to be a Deus Ex Machina or whatever it's called, so be it. I don't care. Add new stuff. It's cool.
That's right.
Anyways,
yeah. So that's about it for New Dawn.
good Lord. That was New Dawn.
That was just New Dawn, and we're not even technically done.
Okay, what else do we have?
Look down on your sheet.
Oh, special things! Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
Oh, my goodness. You got your mitts on it, huh?
Yes, there's a reason this show will not be coming out until the 30th.
Bill, would you like to tell the audience what Elric is doing right now? Because
Because this
no one
makes
knows.
great radio.
Yeah.
So Elric is flipping through Faith and Fury, which is the Psychic Awakening book that covers all the cool Black Templar. And I got to tell you, it's pretty amazing. It's actually broken up into Chaos and then the Black Templars. The story is to die for. But the Obliterators, they have a special ability in there that's just, wow, off the hook. The Templars are,
The Templars. I mean, yeah.
you got all these stat lines for Helbrecht and Grimaldus and the whole 9 yards in there. And
Spoilers. Be careful.
Yeah, no, this won't come out till Sunday, so this is definitely something we can talk about.
That is true. You're right.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be in everybody's hands. So, but yeah, the early reviewers have already put 90% of this stuff out. So,
Well, Elric, we are still recording a show, so would you like to come back down to Earth with us, buddy? Or
tell us a little bit about what you're looking at.
It's so good. I'm just looking at the Black Templars. It's finally.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Okay, so they are basically... So it's all the units out of Codex Space Marine.
Oh, yeah, and then
plus these
those,
updated things for the characters and the Crusader Squad and all of that. Okay, cool. Okay, so they can use everything except for the Librarian.
Yeah, well, go figure.
Well, yeah, but because I've been playing Black Templar since they very first came out, and that back then they didn't get to use like Vindicators, Whirlwinds, and Devastator squads and stuff like that too.
If it's in the book, it's available.
Yeah.
Although, well, you in the lore, there's some interesting stuff about what Guilliman thinks about the Black Templars. So,
well, do they cross the Rubicon Primaris?
No, but there are Primaris Black Templars.
Okay, well, that's what I'm at. Yeah,
which is actually, if you think about it, it's very strange because they're not a founding chapter.
Yeah,
they're basically Imperial Fists. But that's where Guilliman goes back to this whole idea of, no, you are your own thing. You are no longer beholden to the Imperial Fists. You are Sigismund's sons. So basically saying, yeah, I have a lot of respect for Sigismund. He was a dude, and you guys are dudes, and go do dude stuff.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. And then I was like, dude. And he was like, dude. And then Guilliman was like, dude. Yeah, so. Hopefully that gets cut out, but
no. That's for all the '90s kids.
Yeah, okay.
That understand exactly what you just said.
They
and
did.
Were like,
they got it.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was so cool. You remember?
Oh, also, just real quick, shout out to all the non-Chaos God-specific Chaos Marines getting some very cool stuff in this book too.
Oh yes, very
the
cool.
Night Lords, Alpha Legion, Word Bearers, stuff like that. Iron Warrior. Well, nobody cares about Iron Warriors, but the other ones.
There's 3 or 4 people out there that care.
Okay, so we're going to take just a quick break, and then we'll be back with the very final segment of New Dawn. So, and last but not least, in New Dawn, we're going to take a look at the newest of the New Dawns. I'm not sure that any of them are actually named Dawn, but one of them might be Sister Dawn. Maybe. Yeah. So, basically, we're looking at the Sisters of Battle Army box. And I think, Elric, you approve?
Oh, my God. So good. I'm just flipping through the Collector's Edition Codex.
It's beautiful.
Oh, my God. The artwork in here is unreal. The pictures of all the models are just so good.
Was it worth 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. This release is definitely the fulfillment of a lot of dreams out there. And I still say that there's a lot more people that say they had an old Sisters Army than I think could possibly have existed. I'm not trying to call anybody or anything out, but it's funny, like when I was playing years and years and years ago, I had some Sisters models that, I used as allies, but I never had a Sisters Battle Army. I always thought they were super cool, but they were also one of the hardest ones to build and paint. And, you saw that, what's the rhino with the organ on it?
The Exorcist.
Exorcist, yeah. I mean, that thing was so fiddly to build, and it was metal to plastic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. The metal to plastic hybrids.
Yeah, it was such a pain in the nurgles.
Yep.
To get that all to work and to stay together, because really back then we didn't have quite the vast array of transportation options we have now. So to see the quality of these plastic models, oh my God, they are so flippin' amazing. I'm just, yeah, I know I said on the last show that I wasn't going to buy the box, but,
You glad you did?
Yeah, well, this was a little bit, I won't say that it wasn't a little bit of FOMO, but it was, I'm so glad, because it just rekindled that whole thing of you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to have a half Black Templars, half Sisters of Battle force.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, same here.
Yeah.
2020 is going to be literally the year of faith and fury.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For me. I'm going to be doing Black Templars and Sisters all year long.
Yep.
So does that mean I should take my Death Guard back and
Oh yeah. You should get
start
some
picking them
chaos
up
ready.
and then have Chaos versus Sisters and
Yeah.
Templar? Okay.
Because we're going to come flame your...
Who won?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I right now, because I haven't had a chance to really digest the rules or read any of the background, but right now my favorite part is the different paint schemes.
Yeah.
They're just so good.
I know. And it just makes you so almost, it makes me almost not want to build and paint them, because you look at those heavy metal paint jobs and you're just like, okay, I will do that. That's what I'm aiming for. And then I know when I get my Crayola version off the table, it's going to be like, well, it's almost like Darren Latham's.
Yeah. Well, I think what's so nice about it is because when you think Sisters of Battle, you think black armor with red and white cloth and highlights and stuff like that. That's generally the scheme. Whereas in here, there's obviously lots of variations of that.
Oh, yeah.
But there's other stuff, too. Like there's the Battle Sister of the Order of the Glowing Chalice, which is gray armor, or the Battle Sister of the Order of the Iron Veil, and it's all silver.
Yep.
And do they still have the Argent Shroud? Which, if I remember correctly, they were silver.
Yeah, they were the silvery.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I want to do the what is it, Martyred Rose, the ones with the cream colored.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, and she looks clean too. That armor looks good.
Yeah.
Real good. So, yeah, it's just the different. Oh man, the Sacred Rose. I think I'm going Sacred Rose. The all white armor.
Oh, that's just such a pain.
Woo!
No, not
God,
now.
it looks
No,
good.
not now. You're right.
Yeah, with the Apothecary White contrast.
Yeah.
I did that the other day, and I was like, this is a small miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Painted something white with it, and I was like, it's instantly. I did the beard for my giant.
Oh yeah.
And I used Apothecary White.
Straight out of the pot?
Straight out of the pot.
Okay.
Well, I put in eyedroppers, but don't tell anyone that. And then I went over with white, and I just hit the highlights, just the raised areas of his beard. And in a photograph, you can't really tell the difference.
No,
but in real life, you're like, that's astounding.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
just gray enough.
Yeah.
That when you put it up against, I feel white scars or whatever I used, boom, it pops. That white.
It's just white
really
enough
crisp.
that you could highlight with white
Yes.
to give it that
Yeah,
extra
it's a
depth
very
and pop.
white gray.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just like Skaven, what is it, Skaven Blight?
Dinge. Yeah.
Dinge is just gray enough that you can put it on a straight black and it looks good.
Yeah.
The Apothecary White is that for white.
Yep.
I highly recommend it. And thank you, Anders, for turning me on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to get over to the store and monkey around with some contrast stuff because I've been painting with it on Randall's army, and I'm still not comfortable with it. So I kind of want to bounce some ideas off him, see what he has to say about it. But,
Well, I'm doing my my Rotbringers.
Yeah.
So that is the perfect medium
Yeah.
to experiment. Go, okay, well, that didn't come out the way I thought it would, but it still looks cool.
It's gnarly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing about chaos.
As a quick aside, do have to throw out super thanks and kudos to our store manager, Anders, because he is one hell of a guy. He really, the community owes him a huge debt of gratitude because he's really making it work. He's putting together so much stuff. And
This Imagifier, whatever, might be one of my favorite models I've ever seen. As on all the characters, the Dialogus, the Hospitaler, Hospitaler, whatever.
So what's next?
All right, I think we should probably move on to creation.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, you want to go first?
Well, like I said, I didn't bring anything with me today because it's just been a little too chilly down here in New Mexico to really prime / seal anything.
Oh, yeah.
So no dull coat for me. Elric put a challenge down for me a couple shows ago to build an army. And I said, okay, I'll do the Squigalanche. So he, loaded me up with a ton of squigs, and they are fun to paint. They're awesome, but they're just a little too small for my eyes to really get the detail on.
Yeah.
So what I did was I hemmed and hawed over it. I painted it, about 11 or 12 squigs and a couple of riders, and then I was like, you know what? There's something just not clicking. And then I forget who it was. One of the guys on our chat mentioned they're Rotbringers. And I was like, oh, I have an entire army of Rotbringers, Nurgle demons, that I spent a small fortune on opening day for our Warhammer store.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting in a box. Most of it's painted. And I was like, but the Rotbringers aren't. So I have taken Elric's challenge and turned towards the Rotbringers, and I forgot how much fun they were to paint, how much just fun I had in just changing head swaps, weapon swaps, things like that. And it just has reinvigorated my hobby mojo. And I think I've done almost 1.5 guys completely painted per evening for the past week.
Yeah.
So plus, and then I finished the giant for Warcry, and he's sitting around also. So
you gotta love it.
Yeah, I'm totally stoked. I have about 20 more guys I want to paint, which should get me done long before Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and then LVO's around the corner.
Yipper.
If I can get a couple games under my belt here when I go to LVO in the end of January, then see what happens.
There you go.
I heard there's some sort of narrative event going on up there.
Yeah.
Rumor has it.
I don't know. It's the first year for that. Somebody said it sold out, but
yeah, it's weird.
I heard the guy that's running it is a scrub.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
Brad. Bill. Something like that.
Something. He's from some weird desert. I don't know. So, whatever.
I know I certainly didn't sign up for that nonsense.
Yeah, that would be silly.
Excuse me? I seem to have a entry with your name on it. Okay, anyway.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So, what did you create?
I will on the next show.
No juggalos?
No. So, yeah, I have a 4-day weekend coming up that I definitely want to get some painting done. And what I want to do, this is kind of a long-term thing. I want to get this army painted because, I'm a man of my word. My ex-wife might disagree with that, but
which one?
Yeah, oh, God.
Ooh.
Anyways, and I want to jump into another painting project. And I want to keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, there you
go. Obviously, with the Black Templars and the Sisters and stuff.
Sure.
And also probably some form of Age of Sigmar. I do want to do Iron Jaws.
Yeah.
Again, I'm getting back in with those guys. Anyways, obviously Twitter is just chock full of hobby goodness. But shout out to Tim Fisher at TimFisher22. He posted a picture of his Archeon.
Oh,
and it is unbelievable. It uses the Noctilith Crown.
Yeah, Noctilith Crown.
Yeah, the Chaos Space Marine terrain piece from 40K.
Yep.
On top of Sigmar's head or something like that
from Warcry.
Oh, from Warcry on the Archeon base, which is all done up, and then Archeon is like flying out of the Noctilith Crown,
the big circle that is the crown. The
thing is probably 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah,
if not more. It's absolutely bananas. And looking at it, I mean, you see this stuff comes up, right? I mean, there's guys in the hobby that are just renowned for being over the top converters. The guys from the Pro Painted podcast, those guys are phenomenal with the stuff they put out. There's tons of other guys that do stuff, but for some reason, when I saw this one really, really just hit me. And I think it's probably because it's obviously phenomenal, but it's also Archeon.
Yeah.
And I want to start converting. Obviously not this off the bat, but I want to start trying some crazy stuff, more than just head swaps,
right,
and things like that.
But I'm a little deeper.
Yeah, but I want to wait until I get enough of the hobby ball rolling with painting, so that I don't want to like bust out a tube of green stuff and then kind of screw up something and then get discouraged and just stop hobbying altogether.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to establish that, yes, I can paint. Not only can I paint, but I can paint armies. I can get it done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to win any awards, but I can put painted armies on the table that I did, and now I want to start putting more character into them. So I think that's what 2020 is going to be, is a lot of getting armies done, but slowly incorporating my touch on it, I think.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing there is to, even if you have to just keep it to yourself and not show it to anybody, just try to eliminate that fear of failure.
Don't show it to the group, so then it'll rip your heart out and stomp all over it with your flaming skeletons.
I didn't want to mention Skeleton Gate, but yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but the thing is I've tried some projects here that came out as bad as I could have ever feared that it might have come out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't post any pictures, and I sure as hell didn't tell anybody I was starting on that project.
Yeah.
Because it failed miserably, but you learn from it and you move on.
That's the thing, though, is like you should post it because you could. I mean, once Randall stops being Randall for 5 seconds, like the rest of us could actually provide useful feedback of like what you can.
Constructive criticism?
Constructive criticism instead of wasting oxygen. Yeah.
I have to give a shout out to Randall. He has been my biggest supporter for my rod bringers.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Yeah. He's been out there and, these look awesome. This is great, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you go, buddy.
Yeah, he's probably on a bit of a high ever since that 20-year-old waitress.
So was it not-
What? Anyways, moving on.
Salambo. Wow.
It's even worse when you say the name was Frederico.
Yeah. He was a looker.
But yeah, so I mean, this is just me trying to fill space on the creation portion, even because I didn't do anything.
Nah,
but next show, definitely, we'll report back. Probably more frustration with contrast paint, but
hey.
I'm going to get through it.
If you that black contrast paint is awesome also.
Well, I've been using the blue,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making progress with
Which
it.
blue? The Ultramarines blue?
So I've been using the Talisar blue is the contrast paint that I've been.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've made a little bit of progress. Zach has been helping me with that because all I'm trying to do is just get to a tabletop quality. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with it.
Yeah.
And, okay, which blue is this?
That is the Ultramarines blue.
That's really dark.
But if you put the Talisar over it, all those little places where it's lighter, that bright blue will grab that and make it pop. So it's almost like a double highlight. It's weird.
So you're slathering on the Ultramarines, letting it dry completely.
Yeah.
And then just slathering on a whole nother coat of Talisar.
I'll just put the Talisar over like the raised areas.
Oh,
like
so you're literally trying to highlight.
Yeah, using it as a highlight. And I did it on, it's not on that one, it's on another model, but it came out pretty good.
How does that work? Because the contrast stuff is it's a heavy liquid paint that is trying to run all over the place. So how do you propose trying to highlight?
Anytime I'm using like as a base coat, like the Ultramarines, I'm using the base coat. I thin it down. I do a 1-to-1.
Are you using the medium?
Yeah, I'm using the contrast medium with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just put a drop of the contrast medium, a drop of the Ultramarine, mix it together, put it on, and then it immediately will go to the recesses.
Right.
And it'll put like a thin layer on top of the gray sear undercoat that I have.
Yeah.
And then I'll just grab the Talisar straight from the bottle, put a drop down, and hit that raised area. And that brighter blue grabs the gray sear that is slightly peeking through that dark. So it highlights that, but it makes the recesses look even darker.
Really?
So it gives it a real royal blue with just enough of just enough to grab that raised area.
Okay.
So
all right, I might have to look into that then. Cause
I just experimented with it on some scrap guys I had.
One of the problems I'm running into is it feels like when I slather on the blue, you can just still see so much primer through it.
And that's where that Talisar will grab that primer
okay,
and put that lighter shade of blue, that almost electric blue over it. So
Yeah.
It'll pop, but the Ultramarines tames down that electric blue also.
Yeah.
Well, when I showed a picture of it to Zach, he was saying that you have to make sure there's absolutely no moisture whatsoever in the brush, because water in the brush will mess with the consistency or the chemical makeup of the paint and cause it to do that too. And so once I started making sure the brush was completely dry and then going back and doing it, I was getting better results.
Yeah.
A much thicker coat, I guess, or it was more consistent and covering over the primer as opposed to when I still had a little bit of water in the brush. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to monkey around too much with trying different things with the Army, because I don't want like 10 of the great swords to look kind of like this and then 10 of them to look like, you know what I mean? Like I want it to look uniform. So
Or just use that Ultramarine or that Talzar, put it down, and then just get a layer paint and thin it down like a 1-to-1 layer paint, and then just pap, and hit where the light hits, and that's it.
I might even just do one of the dries. The dry paints.
I don't like how the dries come out. Myself, the only dry that I've liked is the Rise of Rust.
Have you tried? Okay, this is a technique that I've heard about. I've not tried it, but using a makeup brush.
Oh yeah, you have to.
With the dry paint, does that work better?
Way better.
Okay, that's what I'll probably try. Then.
I think the biggest nasty part, when you want a heavy dry brush and you use the GW dry brushes, you get a good dry brush, because those are camel hair brushes and they're very, very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a non-chalky, nice-looking highlight with a dry, you have to use something with very soft bristles, the makeup brushes, or even just go to, Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something and buy those cheap $2.49 15-pack of big, fat, soft bristle brushes, and they work great for dry brushing. So much better than, for doing the GW method, the GW dry brush is great, because they almost always follow that up with a wash that kind of gets rid of some of that chalkiness that brush is going to leave behind.
Yeah, but I found, like, way back when I was painting the Imperial Fist, trying to use that method where you primed it, Averland Sunset, and then gave it that dry yellow. I can't remember what it's called, but and it's super chalky.
Yeah.
Duncan or one of the guys did in the video. Yeah. And then you go back and hit it with the yellow wash. I found the yellow wash was so heavy that it basically just washed out the highlight.
Yep.
So that.
Well, you have to. A lot of times you have to thin those washes to get the really good filter effect that you want, and not the wash.
Yeah.
Because really, what you're doing after you do a dry brush is you really want to not so much wash the miniature to have it change all the tone of the entire coat. You want to thin it down so much that it becomes just a filter, and it's not actually sticking to every area, if you will. I don't know how to explain it. It's not adhering to the entire thing. It's going where you want it.
It's a little thinner than a glaze.
Yeah,
essentially.
Much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why they got rid of those 4 glazes, is because now, with the contrast medium and the way the shades are now, you can make those glazes. Basically, you just have to thin them like crazy with the contrast medium, not with water. Water will break it down and it won't give you the effect you want.
Yeah.
It's got to be the medium.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hopefully next show I'll have tons of hobby goodness going on.
Cool.
Nice.
Bill?
My creation was, I spent most or part of today dry brushing the heck out of my terrain pieces. Can I do some anti-creation?
Sure.
Okay. So yesterday, I was able to, thankfully, return a whole bunch of stuff to the GW store, and I was able to pick up the Necromunda Dark Uprising box and a few other things that are going to hit the hobby table here shortly, because, I needed to change out some stuff. I needed to get rid of some duplicated stuff and then buy some Secret Santa gifts. So that was my anti-creation. And the other thing I wanted to hit in my creation this time was the latest asset drop box. I was really, really impressed with the November asset drop box because I just displayed it for you guys to see. What you ended up with in November's box was 6 different paints, plus a thing of the Army Painter Strong Tone, plus a big old bottle of the Liquitex acrylic ink, as well as one of the tank brushes for putting on the different either inks or washes and pin washing with them. These things make pin washes super handy. And, of course, you got the 2 bases that you can use to test the different effects. But in the November box, you got 3 different Instar paints, the Pure Oxide Yellow, Pure Mid Yellow, and Pale Yellow. You got Liquitex Pro Acrylic Ink Muted Violet, so it's a thing of ink, which they blow through the airbrush really great, by the way. You got 3 little jars of Humbrol paint, the Scarlet Matte, the Carmine Matte, and a gloss varnish. Let me see. Army Painter Strong Tone, like I said. And then the watercolor tank brush with a medium nib. And the techniques in this one are for painting blood and guts. So one of the tiles is just a dead body that you can paint the blood and guts on it. And he goes through in here how to do the painting of all the blood and to get the gore effects. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh, wow. That actually looks good.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, slathering blood for the blood god all over everything.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a good effect. And then the other one is how to paint liquid, which is why it has the yellows and blues. How to paint liquid in, like, a tank. Or, sometimes we have vials on our characters and what have you. So this November asset drop box it just stood out to me as, number one, it's an incredible value. And number two, it's got great techniques for doing things that we all do a lot, but we kind of maybe sometimes get in a rut of how we do them, and they don't actually come out the way we think they should. And yet here's a way to try a new way of doing it and make it look awesome.
Yeah, it not only shows you how to do liquid, but it shows you how to do, like, I guess, lens glare effect, which is really cool.
Yeah, because if you think about it, that it's really the same sort of effect.
Yeah, the blood looks terrible, but the organs inside the body, I think, was a really great effect.
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to throw that big shout out to Asset Drop because they're very, very cool. Okay, so we're back now with our premature evaluation. Really what we're going to do is we're going to cover 2019, the year in review, and give our nods to the best of. We are going to cover the best Codex / Battle Tome.
All right.
We're going to cover the best model or range of models. We're going to cover the best expansion or standalone game from GW. And we're just going to cover the best miscellaneous thing that we thought really changed the game or made stuff cooler. So, as far as Battle Tomes go, I want to list my top 3 first.
I'm going to stop you right now.
Oh, my.
I knew you were going to jump in there. I mean, poop. I knew you were going to jump in on me there.
So, I'm going to stop you right now. This is going to be the shortest segment ever. Okay?
I already know Elric's, so we're good. He just had it in his hand.
But why?
What?
Because we're going to say everything's the best.
No. 2019 was a year of absolute failure.
You want to hit that crickets button again, or
in 2019? No, stay with me. We did not get a Stormcast Code Army book. Games Workshop failed. Nothing else will compare to getting another Stormcast book. We did not get one. Therefore, all these other releases are subpar. They cannot hold the candle.
Oh, my God.
To the 19th Stormcast book to come out since Age of Sigmar launched.
But I think you may have missed the bigger picture.
What's that?
2 more chambers.
We need a book at least one book every year. Otherwise, Age of Sigmar is going to die on the vine.
Wow.
It's already dead.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, square bases, baby.
Woo! That's virtually unplayable. So.
Yep.
So if you want to get in touch with us.
All right.
So my top 3 Codex / Battle Tomes. And it's not, I'm not basing this on quality or perceived quality. I'm basing this strictly on what I thought was the coolest. And number one has to go to Ogre Maw Tribes because it tickled that little place in my heart and made me excited again to build and paint and have a goal to get an army on the table and to get it going and playing it again.
Well, and they did what they should have done the whole time. I mean, I understand they probably had an idea of creating all these bizarre little sub-factions in the beginning, but putting all the ogres back together as one army.
Oh, yeah.
Smart move.
Beautiful.
And that book is awesome.
It is so good. So good. Then next up, my number two was kind of a combination thing, the Space Marines Codex with the Salamander supplement. So that's just, oh, God, that's so good. I cannot wait for the Fack Hammer to just beat it into submission.
Fack already came out for him.
I know,
so
and
it should be good.
Almost nothing that I thought was going to get smacked down got smacked.
Good times.
I'm scared because they're probably just going to say no salamanders allowed now, so or something
across the board.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. And then my third favorite has to be the Battle Company's book for the Middle Earth strategy battle game.
Oh, wow.
To make it super accessible and to give it that, entry point for people that don't want to spend, hundreds and hundreds of dollars to put out a full force. You can play Battle Companies and have a great time with a great game.
Sweet.
So, who's next?
Elric, go ahead.
Okay. So despite having just briefly glanced at them, I'm going to say my top three are Sisters of Battle, Black Templars, and then Sisters of Battle with Black Templars. So I can't really say those because I have not had a chance to delve into them. So far, Auric War Tribes.
Oh, yeah.
Is awesome. I have had so much fun writing Iron Jaws lists and just trying to I've just been looking at Iron Jaws. I haven't even started on a Big Wa or the Bone Splitters aspect of that book. So there's still so much more I can get out of it. Just Iron Jaws. Just having the 3 units and the handful of characters, I finally feel like I can come up with different ideas of strategy for the army and build around that. And it's just so cool to have that option now. And it feels like those options can actually translate and work on the tabletop. So once I've gone through that, I can't wait to then open it up to the Great Wog or just a Bone Splitters army or something. It's just I kind of gushed about the Cities of Sigmar book, about how you could sit there with that book and just play it over and over and over again. There's so many options and play styles and everything in there. I feel like, crazy as it is, because the Auric War Tribes book has like 1/10 of the models. Yeah. You could do that with them as well, which is just phenomenal. So yeah, that's definitely my number one.
These books that have options are they're such a refreshing change.
Yeah.
Chad?
For me, it has to be Cities of Sigmar.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even play Cities of Sigmar. And I was like, this is what Gloomspite should have felt like. This is what Maggotkin should have felt like. It just endless possibilities. Yeah. I mean, I look and I'm like, the miniatures I didn't like for years were Empire.
Yeah.
And I look down and I'm like, that could be an incredible looking army on a tabletop.
Yep.
And it can play so much better. It really, I only have 2 books that I really loved. It's that one, and it's a toss up between Salamanders or White Scars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, those are 2 armies that have always been near and dear to me.
The White Scars, I think, are the most overlooked. Iron Hands are getting...
Try again, buddy.
Well, they're the splash thing because they're, number one, easy to play, And
They're really strong.
they're very, very strong. But I think people are overlooking the flexibility that is in the White Scars. That book is amazing with what you can do.
I don't know. I think White Scars always get a lot of attention from the more competitive people because it's such a fast army. It does all kinds of crazy stuff. I would say out of all of them, the one that kind of got overlooked is probably Raven Guard.
Yeah, they did.
I'd say that was...
But that's a mistake people are going to make when they get to big tournaments because they have some tricks.
Which is, it's rather funny because lore-wise,
They're the ones you would overlook.
they're the ones you'd overlook. So it works out nice,
Yeah.
you know. So it's
really
like, okay,
does.
so they will live up to that standard.
So, as an add-on to your comment about Cities of Sigmar, if you're interested in the more competitive side of the game, and Cities of Sigmar strikes your interest, you should definitely listen to Facehammer episode 80, where they cover the Cities of Sigmar book, and I believe it's Russ and Byron, and they're joined by Tom, who's the captain of the England ETC team, and some of the stuff that they come up with, just looking past what might initially catch your eye in that book, is just crazy.
Yeah.
There really is just so much more that you can do with that book if you're willing to step outside the box a little bit. So, I would give that one a listen if you want to get some power out of that book.
Nice. That I will have to do.
Nice.
So,
you can't go wrong with the Facehammer guys when they cover a book because they look at it from every angle, every which way of pulling something apart. So they are amazing.
They also have the luxury of usually being able to pull in really strong, competitive, top-end people to help analyze it as well.
You got basically you have Russ and Byron Ord. They're pretty strong themselves, and then they bring in the best of the best.
Les and Terry are pretty solid players as well. There's
no slouches.
All right, enough of that.
Well, we gushed over them, didn't we?
Yeah,
Oh,
those guys.
Okay.
Anyways,
have you heard of Mitzi and Jimbo?
Who?
Yeah. I love it,
guys.
So let's move on to model or range.
Sweet. So I only get to say one book. I only get one book that I get to talk about.
Yeah,
you got three. Chad got two. I got one. Is that how this is going to work? I got to make them count.
Let's go back.
No, that's fine. Move on.
What books do you want to talk about now?
Sisters of Battle. Just kidding.
How did I know?
Trying to think of what else. Really, I would feel like an idiot if I saw a list of what actually came out this year. Maybe you should have put that together in the show notes, Bill.
Yeah, I didn't have homework to cover myself. Slanesh, you like Slanesh.
I will say I'm very excited for Slaves to Darkness coming out. Having Archeon on the cover of that makes me very excited.
Somewhere between December and June. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
between December and June.
Is that what it said?
That's just the official rumor.
Range.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then. Yeah.
Like I said, it's a premature evaluation. They might drop in December and be very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go with just Orc War Tribes. It's just such a... Makes me so happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this truly is the year of happiness because so many things that were languishing, so many of the things that we liked that weren't really being served, all of a sudden got served up, and they were served well.
So I will make an honorable mention to Gloomspite.
Okay.
Overall, I think the book is very disappointing.
Yeah.
However, you can make an all-troll army.
Yeah.
Which makes you very happy.
There you go.
That's very cool. And then probably the Space Marine book and all the supplements in general.
Right.
The fact that all the founding chapters or founding legions got their own specific book for the first time ever is just really cool.
And they each have a niche that they play at well.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like you're painting white or yellow or something over
generic Marines. Yeah, like you're going to have, blue Iron Fists.
Right.
Or what have you.
And the individual characters that came out for each one.
Oh.
So amazing.
God.
So amazing.
I know. When I got to the models, I couldn't pick between any of them. They're just
Shrike
so
and
good.
Auradon and all those. Yeah. So good.
Yep. So let's move on to model or range, like I said a few minutes ago.
All right.
So as far as models or ranges go, I had to start with, and I think we'll all agree on this, the best range was contrast paints. I mean,
Yeah.
bar
Game changer.
Yeah. So many people at the store they're coming in with fully painted armies because of contrast paints. And they're happy and they're excited to be moving on with painted armies that they never really thought they would do before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. It's so nice to see people achieving what they wanted to achieve. I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
The next range that I looked at was the Shattered Storm Vault terrain sets. That set of 4.
Oh, that's a
boxes.
good shout. People tend to overlook terrain.
Yeah, granted it is Stormcast terrain, but you want to fill a table and have it look over the top amazing. That's the set to get because it ties together well. It's amazingly adaptive and modular, and you can have fun with it. It's easy to paint and make into what you want it to be. It's fantastic. I love it.
Nice.
And then my third place for model or range was, and it probably should have been higher because it's so amazing, but I don't like them from a lore point of view. But the whole entire Slaanesh range that got released was, I still look at that stuff and go, oh my God, that is so over the top cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to sound all fanboy, but I am all fanboy. I have no interest in playing Slaanesh ever, no matter how good they are. But you cannot deny that those models are brilliant. And the paint jobs that some of these guys are putting on it, I mean, hell, just, Zach's paint job is phenomenal.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And I don't mean to make it sound like, wow, he's never done that before. But, I mean, it's,
So even Zach could do it.
yeah, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, he's a guy in our pretty much sort of extended community, and he's got one of those beautiful armies that, wow, without that range, you wouldn't have that army. So that's what I meant.
Yeah, I saw it up close and personal at Plant Carnage, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we're lucky to have him. So, anyway, next up for the range or model.
For my top 3?
Oh, you want 3 this time.
Oh, my God.
All right, go ahead. Take 3.
Here we go. Yes, I got to gush about Slaanesh, too. Like, it's the first time that I've ever wanted to do Slaanesh. It's just that good.
I don't know if she's available.
Well,
oh, you meant the army.
Oh,
Got it.
Oh,
Got it.
No. And then after that, the Trolls.
Oh, yeah.
Trolls that came out for Gloomspite. Just so cool. So cool. Mollog was like the initial excitement, and then to see the rest of the kits come out, and the fact, again, that you could just play an all-troll army.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. And then if I had to pick a third, it would not be third, it would be first, and it would be the Sisters of Battle. I mean, they're just, I gushed about it on Twitter, and like I said, I think Sisters of Battle, I'm going to have to take it back. Well, so Warriors of Chaos, but we don't know when that's coming out, so I won't add that. They'll get an honorable mention. But, because that Star Collecting box is coming out for them is over the
brilliant.
However, Sisters of Battle, to me, is the best army Games Workshop has ever done.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily because I'm excited to play the army and collect it or anything like that. It's the fact that when you look at the range, every single model is a character.
Yes.
Every single, even just the rank and file Sisters of Battle.
Yep.
It has so much, it's not even detail, all right? Like Stormcast have detail on them. They're not characters.
Right.
There's nothing unique about them.
Yeah. Any Liberator is the same as the next one.
Right. The Castigators are all the same. These girls each look like an individual character, like a person, a representation of action
yes.
on the table. And and I think that is the direction they're going because, like I said, with the honorable mention of the Warriors of Chaos, when you look at the stuff they previewed on the community page, it all looks like that too. Each one of those models looks like another army's general.
Yeah.
And they're just regular chodes.
They're just guys.
Yeah. So I think we might be on the cusp of a whole new age of model design with Games Workshop, with what really makes me excited for 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sisters of Battle has got to be the best stuff I've ever seen them put out.
Okay. So that counts as 2.
That's all 3. I'll just say Sisters of Battle straight up. The most
love
amazing thing I've ever seen.
They are so good. So good. Chad, you want to throw one out there? Or
okay,
out there?
Slaanesh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the army is nightmarish.
Yeah.
Like, it is an army that I look at and I'm like, okay, it's alluring and terrifying at the same time. It hits the exact note that it should have always hit.
Yep.
You know, I look at that Keeper of Secrets and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's intimidating from a painting sense, but also just from a look. The aesthetic of it is astounding.
Yes.
And then you have
the foot characters.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then there's the big mirror. I forget what it's called off the top of my head.
I don't remember, but yeah.
Just completely terrifying.
It feels like for the first time.
No, this is my part of the segment now. Thank you, Elric. And my number 2 is going to be the Ogre Tyrant.
Oh, yeah, that model is.
Yeah, they brought that in.
I won't even say anything.
Yeah, it's better that way. And so they
God bless.
Okay, I can't go any further. What were you going to say?
So I was going to say, you clown, that it feels like for with the 4 Chaos Demons, that each one of them feels very unique, and that the whole range embodies the god that they represent. Right?
Oh yeah.
So like the Khorne stuff there feels very feral and brutal and violent and stuff. When you look, especially those Bloodthirsters are so good for being the oldest out of them now.
I think so. Yeah, they're the first ones out.
And to me, I think they're still the best. I mean, obviously the Keeper's phenomenal. They're all so good, but personal favorite is the Bloodthirster, and then like the Tzeentch. It looks like an army mutating and just like the physical embodiment of magic, chaotic magic. Yes. And then the Nurgle stuff is just, I've got
my heartstrings.
Yeah, like I don't like Nurgle, but I'm so happy for people who do because it finally feels like it's not World War I helmet dudes with the pustule on the shoulder anymore. Yeah. Like they look like Nurgle Marines. They look like Nurgle warriors and all this stuff. And then now, with the Slaanesh, it's just this sleek, alluring, like you said, nightmarish chaos. And it's not the over-the-top, old-school feeling where, like, everything has to be hyper-sexualized and stuff for Slaanesh. They really hit a note to make them look, God, they just look so good. So
they look like pleasure and pain.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's, wow. Yeah.
So.
And my second one was the Ogre Tyrant.
Yeah, we got that. Move on to number 3. Yep.
The Ogre Tyrant, they designed it, a new model to look like, to tie into the old aesthetic.
Yes.
It looks fantastic.
Have you guys seen it in person?
No.
I know you have the box. Have you built it?
It's right here.
Oh.
And we'll just to do the quick third because we're running out of time. Adrax Agatone.
Oh yeah,
Adrax Agatone for Salamanders is just
really over the Imperial Fist guy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Over White Scars. Over Corso Khan.
Oh yeah, Khan.
Yeah,
and
I'm
Shrike.
not a Shrike fan. I did not like that look for him. It was a little too but I love the aesthetic of the Salamanders. I love the lore of them.
Oh yeah,
you know they're here are these alien look. I mean, they do not look human.
No,
black skin, red eyes. They're very primitive looking in that aspect, and they're the keepers of humanity.
Yeah,
that's the beauty. That's the big thing for me.
And, yeah, you know, with all my love of Blood Angels and Raven Guard and all that stuff, I realized only recently that rereading all the Salamander stuff, they were the ones that originally appealed to me because of their noble defense of humanity. And I was like, why did I ever get away from these guys?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so a question about the Ogre Tyrant, now that I'm holding it in my hand, built. You obviously love the model, and you are playing the army.
yes.
Bill is playing the army, and Chad loves the model. Do you feel that when you put this model down with other foot ogres, does this model separate itself because it's so much more new and detailed than it is? Because those old ogres are from 6th edition fantasy. That's 10 years ago.
And that is the one
12
thing
years ago.
about those old, well, they call them ogre gluttons now,
Yeah.
is they look so old compared to him, just even with just primer on them.
Yeah.
And the only thing that he actually smacks to me of is the Beast Claws. The guys that ride on the Beast Claws he fits in with them, but of course they're not foot troops, they're all riders.
Right.
So he fits with them far more than he does with the ogre, the gluttons, and all that stuff.
He looks more monstrously built and strong than fat and gluttonous.
Yes. He looks like he's a beefy warrior
Yeah.
rather than just kind of a fat ogre.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like the fact they got away from, they're corpulent. No, they're ogres.
Yeah.
They should be huge, terrifying,
Strong and
strong. Yeah, they're just slabs of muscle.
Yep.
On top of muscle.
That one of the tusks on his belly plate is coming out.
Look at that.
But yeah, so those are my 3 right there.
Yep.
Cool.
Slaanesh across the board.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So next up is expansion or standalone game. So my number one on this one was Apocalypse.
Okay.
Just because it's the continuation or the final new way to play for 40K. It covers we had the kill team, we got 40K, and now we have the mega battle. And the idea that they were able to throw convention to the trash bucket and say, here's how we're going to make this game work and not be stupid. And it works when you walk into the game store and there's 4 guys sitting at the table at a Games Workshop game store, which doesn't have a whole lot of room for games, and they're playing a game of Apocalypse. Because not only do they know it's going to be over in a few hours, but they're going to be able to do it. It's going to be fun, and they're going to get to do it, and it's approachable enough that they don't have to worry about scheduling a room for the week so that they can leave things set up. It's just so much better. It's such a better game. My next box set or standalone game was expansion or standalone game was Necromunda Dark Uprising. I've mentioned it a couple of times now, but just for the sheer size of the box, it is expensive at $290, but the amount of terrain that you get in there is crazy cool. And shout out to our buddy, Dead Gamer. He's done a whole series of YouTube videos about how to make that terrain and how it works and how it interrelates with the other terrain sets. So if you're interested in the Zone Mortalis, which for me, I loved Zone Mortalis 40K rules. I loved that whole setup. So definitely check out Dead Gamer's videos. I'll put the link in there, and he does a great job. Thank you, Kirk. And my last expansion was, of course, Book 8, Malevolence, from the Horus Heresy series. That was so awesome. Oh, my God. It's the first book that came out after Alan Bly, and you kind of had to, is this going to keep? And, it shows the fact that it wasn't Alan Bly, but it also shows that they are still capable of putting out quality stuff.
Good.
Next.
Well, I'll take this one.
Okay.
My top 3 is extremely simple because it's all the same. Warcry, and Warcry. They made a game that is exactly what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Across the board, it's quick, it's easy, it's fun. You can use virtually every army.
Yep.
Sans what? KO and Fire Slayers?
Yeah. I mean, there's some factions that aren't represented. But,
yeah, but this is also Wave 1.
Yeah, and some of them just don't really fit well with that theme, and they don't play into that theme.
But I cannot praise Warcry enough. I can't. I have, 2, 3 warbands now, and that's not the ones that are actually made for the game.
Right.
Yeah. I've got my Iron Jaws one. I've got my Stormcast.
Yeah.
And I've started working on a Legion of the Gash.
There you go.
That's my top secret project. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Warcry,
Nobody
across the board.
Yep. See, one of the reasons why I didn't pick Warcry on my list was I knew you were going to pick it.
That I was going to gush. I'm over here bouncing like a schoolgirl. Like,
well, it's the truth. Warcry is just amazing. It's such a great game, period. Flat out. There's almost nothing wrong with it. Elric, sir?
I don't know. Really, Warcry is the only expansion that or other standalone thing that I even really tried this year. So, I mean, and it's phenomenal. So, yeah, I would have to go with Warcry, and then that's it, really.
It's that good. I do have to throw honorable mentions out to, and I'm not sure that they came out this year, but I'm pretty sure they did, but the Blitz Bowl game is so much fun.
Yeah,
it's the watered-down Blood Bowl at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, and then there was the 40K version thing, too. Yeah.
There's the,
40K Heroes or something like that.
40K Heroes. Oh, I meant to say that during Creation or New Dawn or something. I bought 5 boxes of the Series 2 Space Marine Heroes.
Yeah.
Not only did I not get a single double, so I got 5 unique characters, but I also got the Banner Bearer as one of them. So the second rarest I got in my purchase of 5.
Nice.
I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome.
Wow.
So all I need now is the captain and a couple of others. But
if they do a Primaris set of those, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
I don't want any of the old Marines.
Yeah, well.
Who does?
These are Terminators. These are Blood Angel Terminators, so I have to have them.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry. And
for
then
your Blood Angel / Salamander / Raven Guard army.
I do like your idea of just painting them black, red, and green.
Yeah.
And just saying, they work for everything.
You could even dot the eyes white. So if you ever feel like white scars, you could just...
Sure. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Oh, then maybe like blue feet. It'd be like the Captain Planet Marines.
Blue boots. So they could be Ultramarines.
With your powers combined, you could be that guy.
Wow. That guy I hate. Okay. So let's move on to miscellaneous items before I hate myself even more.
Then you could chop off all their legs and give them bionics so that they could also be Iron Hands.
Oh, yeah.
You just do it all, and then
this is easy.
Yellow rim the bases for Imperial Fist rules.
And then, just paint one arm all metallic.
And you could put, like, tails on them so that they could be Space Wolves. And then you could say that they were traitors all along and be Dark Angels. Zing! All right.
Heretic! Oh, must be a Dark Angel. Okay.
I've fallen, brother. Help me.
Nope. It's all right. I'm a Black Templar.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on to miscellaneous. My number one miscellaneous item has to go to AOS Reminders, the website done by Davis E. Ford to make basically Age of Sigmar that much more fun and enjoyable and easy to approach because everything you need is there. And I tell you, that is... I know in years past I gave the miscellaneous out to Tony P. and his scroll builder, but this year it definitely has to go to Davis Ford and the AOS Reminders because it's just over the top. If you don't know what it is, go out to AOSReminders.com and plug in what your army looks like, and It spits out basically everything you need to remember in every phase of the game so that you can play your army to its best without...
And it is a complete... The way the system works is foolproof.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an idiot. I can make it work.
That's right. I mean, that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we owe that guy a big debt of gratitude. It's a fantastic app. Okay, so my number 2 was the Middle-earth strategy battle game General's Accessory Pack. And again, it's one of those products that will get overlooked most of the time, but it just makes your games of the Middle-earth strategy battle game that much more fun and enjoyable and approachable, because it has all the little things that you need and want, and yet you'd spend a whole lot of time either making or collecting or purchasing. There it is, everything in one place. Very handy. And then, in somewhat controversially, my number 3 has to be the Bandai Space Marine.
Oh, wow. I totally spaced on that.
Yeah.
That thing was so cool. Is so cool. Will be so cool.
Will be, yeah. And I didn't pick it just because it's going to be super cool.
Right.
But it's what it represents. The fact that Games Workshop may be huge, but it's huge in its niche of miniatures games. Mm-hmm. Bandai is huge around the world as a producer of content and themed game or themed pop culture items, and to have them pursue, or either way, or agree to be pursued with a Space Marine, and then to go through all the design that it takes to make a model of their quality, the way they do things, it just means that our hobby is getting a little more mainstream as we go, and that I think is huge.
You could add the Funko Pops to that.
Yeah,
that whole thing too.
Yeah.
The whole death of Games Workshop and 40K and the uniqueness, and we're just making it a little kiddie game. And
yeah. So, yeah, that was my 3 miscellaneous items. Next.
Cool.
Okay, I'll take it from here. For me, definitely, if anyone has not played Chaos Bane yet, I highly recommend it. Yeah. I highly recommend it. And now the new release they're coming out with, they're teasing Tomb Kings.
What?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I don't know how they're going to do it because I haven't finished the game yet, but they're teasing Tomb Kings. So I don't know if it's an expansion of the original storyline. I don't know.
Okay.
No one knows right now. My second one is a shout out to Dana Howell. I don't know if anyone has seen her before. She is at Dana_Howell, and she has an incredibly easy, good video on glazing.
Yep.
Which I tried on some of the squigs, and I tried on some of my Rotbringers, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if I ever see Dana Howell out there, you get a big hug, big thanks from me, because it's just totally, I've never been able to glaze. I always get it too thin, too whatever. Yep. Perfect. And the third thing, we're talking about the Funko, we're talking about the Bandai. The kids' books that they did, I have a 7-year-old son. He adores the fantasy and the 40K version.
Nice.
And he's, when's the next one coming out? When's the next one coming out? Because they're easy to read, but they have depth to them, and they don't really shy away from any of the dark parts of it, I mean, he's 7, probably shouldn't be reading it at 7. It's more for maybe a 10 or 12-year-old, but that's what he likes.
Yeah.
So a big, big thank you for them to, they may be mainstreaming the game to a lot of people, but you just brought another generation of players in.
Well, and that's just it. You're not mainstreaming anything. No. You're making it approachable to a generation that is not underserved, but not served at all.
Exactly.
So, that's a good thing. And if you don't think it's a good thing, go shut up and bury your head back in the sand.
Woo, Bill!
And this has nothing to do with it. It's a miscellaneous thing, and I probably shouldn't even mention it, but my son, again, he's a Cub Scout. and he's a wolf.
I love it.
And so his group was coming up for a name because they had to divide his den into 2 distinct dens. And the first den were the direwolves.
Yeah.
And so they took the House Stark symbol. I mentioned Space Wolves. And now officially it is Den 174 out of the Rio Rancho Albuquerque area are the Space Wolves.
Nice.
So thank you guys very much for that one.
Nice.
And I'm done.
All right.
Sweet. Eric.
Miscellaneous items, huh?
Yeah. Could be the paint stick. Could be the painting handle. Which were honorable mentions of mine.
Yeah, that paint stick is pretty awesome.
It is over the top cool.
I'm going to have to say pretty much anything that Dan from AOS Shorts does.
Okay.
Like, the guy just constantly compiles data and information from the community and makes it easily accessible.
Not to mention the facts and the...
Yeah, it's
You know.
like pretty much anything and everything that happens that needs on top of. I would also say, I don't really know. That's about it. Anything that pops to my mind, anyways. There's some stuff that I'm really excited for. I would love to finally get my hands on the Age of Sigmar role-playing game.
No, you and me both. I was going to put Wrath and Glory on the list, but...
Yeah, I would love to put the Warhammer 4th Edition roleplay on there, but I haven't looked at it, and honestly, it just doesn't interest me anymore.
Yeah.
But every time I get an email from them, from Cubicle 7, there's like nothing in there about the Age of Sigmar game. I thought it would be out by now, so I don't know. I'll just be patient. Hopefully what drops is amazing.
It's really cool, yeah.
And then...
You could say Inquisitor Martyr, because I really wanted to say that, but couldn't.
Well, that didn't come out this year.
Oh, okay.
So...
Version 2.0 did.
Yeah, on PC, but I played on console. So I actually might have by now. I haven't played it in a while. I have garbage internet connection, so
Good point.
that's why I haven't played Chaos Bane.
Oh.
As much as I absolutely want to play that game, I just haven't picked it up. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for miscellaneous stuff.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Do we want to honorable mention anything else? I mean, there's just so many.
We could sit here for another 2
I was
hours.
going to say, you could go back just through listening through all the gushing we do in the podcast and know what we think is cool. So
I don't know if you'd consider it miscellaneous, but how about I wouldn't call them starter boxes anymore. What would you call them? Like Feast of Bones and Loon Curse and
expansions.
The conflict boxes or expansions. Yeah.
That's whenever we talked about that earlier with, the expansions versus the death of 2.0, 3.0. That's what I consider those. Pop out a new
Yeah,
box
but
every
they're not really
once in a while.
doing anything for the storyline, though. It's really just a way of putting out new stuff. But I like it because I would like to give it a shout because it's not Space Marines and something else. It's not Stormcast and something else. They're doing something wildly different. Gloomspite and Sylvaneth, ogres and a whole new army, OCR Bone Reapers.
Jakari and Eldar.
Yeah, the two Eldar armies. Stuff like that is just really cool that they're doing that more and more. So,
and they give people a place to start the hobby if they don't want to start with
Space Marines, Stormcast,
Space Marines. Yep,
And
I love it.
So much in a box.
Yeah.
So much plastic. It's
You get
overwhelming.
value in these boxes. You get so much value.
Yeah.
God.
Excellent work, guys.
Yeah. We ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long one.
Yeah, it has. Good luck in the editing process there, Bill.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So,
We may even consider giving you a pay raise.
Wow.
Or, a pay, period.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we weren't supposed to bring that up in front of him because now he has the bargaining chip, you moron.
I love it.
It's the capitalist in me. What can I say?
And now at 2 o'clock in the morning, Bill's going to text us saying, "Hey, about that pay raise." Oh my god!
Are you guys serious about that?
I'll be asleep, so
Yeah.
no.
All right, let's call it.
All right. Good
It's
night,
been
everybody.
good.
How about a little premature evaluation for you?
There you go.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can reach us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/rollingbadpodcast, all one word. Our Patreon page is at www.patreon.com/rollingbadpodcast, again, all one word. The Twitter account for the show is at rolling_bad, and our individual Twitter accounts are, for me, at Bill Castello, Castello, and for Ryan, he is at RT Gamer. All of our guests on the show will have their contact information in the show notes, and any products that we mention will also be similarly placed in the show notes. The music for the show is used courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com and used under the Creative Commons license.
Sound check.
Wow, that's going in the bloopers, I think. All right, no coughing into the mics?
Yes, please. Jesus wept.
Yeah, big time. Whew, that was hard to edit.
If you're going to start coughing, do us all a favor and die.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Okay, don't make me laugh. Won't cough.
Okay.
That's the deal.
All right.
Come on, Eeyore, kick it up.
Don't bother.
Bazinga!
Oh, it's just stuck. It's stuck.
Okay, Quato.
Start the reactor. Oh.
Wow, Bill, you dusted that one off.
Yeah,
That was
I did,
good.
didn't
I
I?
like that.
So this will get cut out, but I read somebody on Twitter put this thing. You know how you can like edit people's tweets and whatnot, and it was it was like a tweet from J.K. Rowling, and it said the one thing the reason. What does it say? The whole reason Perturabo turned was because Dorn would never look him in the eye when they were making love or something like that. And I was just like,
Wow.
J.K.
Yeah.
Rowling, who would have thought?
yeah, right.
Woo. Oh, my gosh.
Bazinga!
My number 2 thing, miscellaneous thing, had to go to the Middle-earth strategy battle game General's Accessories pack. And Elric is having a coronary. We're going to pause. What the hell is that?
When I see that laugh, I'm like, give him 5. He's going to take a knee.
When you said it, my number 2, I thought back of the Beavis and Butthead when they're dressed up in Starfleet uniforms. It's like, number 1, I order you to take a number 2. God. I don't know why.
Oh, my God.
And here I thought you got a funny tweet or something.
Yeah, I'm like, it must be something good with his miscellaneous.
Wow.
Oh, I'm tired.
This is going to be a fun edit. I can tell you that right
God.
now.
I apologize for the extra 8 hours of editing you have to do.
No worries.
Number 1, I order you to take
Take a number 2.
God.
Oh, so good. All right. What were you saying, Bill? About your number 2?
No, I'm not going to be able to do it.